All right, good morning. Late start for the stream, but I wanted to give myself to trade off of the stream and see how I would do. I've been feeling the extra pressure from the stream. I felt like that I've changed up my trading a little bit like these past few days, like this week. And a little bit before this week, but this week the effects took hold. I had a bad day Monday, blew some accounts. Tuesday was tough, but I made money on those accounts, and then yesterday I did terrible again. So just wanted to give my chance to see what would happen with a little less pressure. Of performing on the stream, and see, if I could trade better. And I did so far. I mean, I guess, you never know if that was the reason why, I did well or not, but I definitely felt less pressure to trade the way I wanted to trade this morning. So yeah, I mean, it was good results. I got approved for the 8,600 on the 6 accounts, and today I'm up another 400 or so per account on those. I've got another new 6 accounts, and I'm up just under 200 on those. So far so good as far as this market goes. Overnight, it looked like we were really going to try to really make it a nice big bounce day. It just trended up all night. Well, till about midnight, and then it reversed. This morning we opened. It looked like it was going to try to. Looked like it made an effort to bounce right in here, but I already had this area marked. And that's exactly where it found resistance. Same in NQ, found resistance in here, popped a little bit higher. Found resistance there, and now we're kind of curling back over, headed back towards yesterday's lows before we bounced. So we'll see what happens here. If we had kept the bounce going, I don't know. I guess I probably shouldn't even speculate on where we might go from here, because I don't see any indication one way or the other. I can picture us going lower for sure. Yeah, I can definitely see that. I could see us bouncing. I mean, there's still a big gap, RTH gap. For both of these, about 18,900 in NQ and about 5420 in ES. I could, coming into the morning, seeing how things were playing out last night, I was thinking we would get some big bounce day just to, kind of screw the bears that hopped in yesterday. Big squeeze, maybe we'd fill the gap, something like that. And that still could happen, but as of right now, it looks like we're just fading back over. This is just kind of curling over here. So at the moment, I could see it going lower too. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to just keep taking little trades that work for me. And and don't worry about the big picture stuff, I guess. So, like I said, it's already been a good day so far. I don't know how much more trades I'm actually going to take. I'm going to stick around and just see if there's anything that really pops out at me. Maybe I'll take some. I probably won't have the execution charts pulled up. Just keep the pressure low for myself. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. if you're looking for a pullback to get short, that would be a decent spot. No real confirmation though. I see stochastic curling up, so it's not a great look to me. Something to note, a difference in the behavior from the past couple of days. Let me see what Monday looked like. Monday it was it was kind of bullish until about this time, till around 9. Tuesday was I guess bullish a little bit. I mean, it was consolidating to go higher. Just never could get higher. And then yesterday we were bullish until 9:30. Today we've started lower. Just something to note. We're also going into a holiday weekend. I feel like, to me, the default going into a holiday weekend is bullish. I don't know why. I mean, I just feel like every time we go into a long weekend, I feel like I see more days that are big up days than I do big down days. right, I'm long here. Maybe we get a big bounce. Yo, what's up, Andrew? How's it going? Big boy bounce. Yeah, it's all right. So easy. So easy. Did you guys find a house in Michigan? Nice. That's awesome, man. You feeling pretty excited? When's the move date again? Right on. Well, we'll see you guys this weekend. All right, let me check this out. And yes, and no worried about being, oh, you're worried about being unemployed, yeah. That place looks nice. Is that out in like, that looks like out in the country. Is it like out in the country? Man, that price too. That's a nice price compared to our market. No, you haven't shown me anything with any of these houses. That sounds right up your alley, huh? Right in the boonies. That's sweet though. I've kind of been having this like desire for something like that, like just like out there, which you can't. I don't know. I don't feel like you can really get it out here in like anywhere in like our metro area. I don't really want to be like in the mountains, you know, like in I don't know, there's like risk of fire. I feel like there's other reasons, but yeah, like places like Michigan or like, I guess in the Midwest or like Tennessee or something. I see like properties and stuff that are out there and it's like, you know, it just seems like in the middle of nowhere and just seems kind of nice. I like the idea of it right now. Dude, I'm a total city guy. Am I? I mean, I guess so. Yeah, I like the city, but I'm from a smaller, well, I mean, I guess it's probably not as small as where you're from, but I like 100,000. I do love Denver. And yeah, I like being in the city, but you know, Carrie is less inclined to stay in the city. So we probably won't stay in the city. Dude, is that the breaker box behind that cabinet? That's hilarious. Was that just like a DIY job or something? Like, how does that happen? Yeah, no, yeah, for sure. Seems like someone was just doing whatever they wanted. Ah, family discount. Yeah, maybe he's not very good and doesn't really get much business. And so they were trying to, that's his only business. Yeah, that seems like why would you even like even think that that was a good idea. Can you even get to all the breakers in there? Yeah, that's crazy. What's this party gonna be like? Gonna be a rager? Are you gonna have dubstep playing? Sweet. Perfect. Very classy. Very classy. I'm sure that's exactly what Sylvia wants. What's the weather gonna be like down there? Oh my! I'm looking at now Friday or now Saturday here. Supposed to be 35% chance of snow and a high of 45. What the hell? After this type of weather we've had, that's like, God, why the one day? That's terrible. Hopefully, do you guys have like an indoor option? Is it indoor, outdoor? I don't even know. Is this I haven't really looked at the thing, you know, that's Carrie's shop. Is it at your house or is it at like a venue or something? Okay, cool. What's the job scene look like in Ann Arbor? What, have you like done any interviews or anything? That makes sense. I mean, that's right up your alley, right? Did you do interviews with them or just like didn't get that far? Yeah, I have no idea what this job market's like nowadays, but Domino's, were you gonna deliver pizza? Just kidding. Are they have like headquarters in Ann Arbor? That's interesting. I'm guessing. Oh, that's cool. Is that pronounced Ypsilanti? Ypsilanti. Assume the Y is an I sound. Yep. So did I say that right? Ypsilanti? Ypsilanti. Are you at the office today or are you at home? I'm guessing you're off tomorrow, right? What, really? I would have thought for sure it'd be a holiday for you. This downtrend breaks higher. That's gonna be really interesting. All right, so what are you excited about for Michigan? I mean, I guess being back in the Midwest, maybe getting a house in the boonies. Are you gonna get your season tickets to the football games? Yeah, that's what I thought. I know you're a huge football fan. Yeah, all of that sounds nice, honestly. Low cost of living, easier traffic, slower pace, greenery. Biking probably sucks out there. House will be bigger, nice. Yeah. All that does sound nice. Sounds appealing. I like those are things I definitely think about, you know, like living here. But also just like it's like hard to give up the me like the weather here. So nice. I don't know, low humidity, all those things. I guess not a lot, but it would be nice to have a lower cost of living, and have like more space, wide open space. I could dig it. I don't think I could actually handle those winters though. Like supposed to be actually like pretty gnarly in Michigan, right? Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I would imagine Michigan would be worse than Illinois though, too, because that cold blows over that lake. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you don't mind it, fine. I just hate the cold. If we ever did move out of Colorado, it would definitely have to be somewhere warmer. Definitely not colder. Yeah, I feel like people that say, I agree, I like the idea of seasons, but I feel like people that say they like seasons have never actually lived somewhere where it was just warm all the time. Because that's pretty nice too. I feel like the term or the phrase "I like seasons" is cope. It's been so long for me. I can't even actually remember. I barely remember what it was like in Louisiana, where it's always warm. I mean, winters are never compared to like here, and obviously Illinois, it's nothing. But winters it's still like you feel like it's winter there. It's just like wet, and I don't know. I feel like with the humidity, it definitely feels colder than the same temperature out here. I just remember playing soccer. Like our soccer season was like in the winter, and like in like January and February is just like so miserable. So sometimes like it'd be raining and it's like 30 degrees or like 35 or something like that. 35 to like 40 and raining is like, God, that's terrible. It's pretty fucking cold. if it weren't for the fact that like California weather, that sounds nice. Like San Diego or or I guess, yeah, you can keep your cockroaches too. Yeah, it is true. The bugs are a whole nother level. Cockroaches and mosquitoes, but you get mosquitoes in, I know, like Michigan and Illinois too. That's the other thing. There's no mosquitoes out here. Like, that's pretty nice. Really nice, actually, in the summer. I mean, summers out here are unbeatable. Absolutely, what I was gonna say was like California, like dry and warm all year round. That sounds real nice, but I don't want to live in California for multiple reasons. And I love Scottsdale. I love Scottsdale. I love that weather. But I've also never been there in the middle of summer. I assume it's just unbearable. But the rest of the year is pretty nice. I assume you have to go, or what I hear too is you have to go in the mornings and the evenings and basically just like shelter in during the day. At least I can snowboard in the winter. Yeah. I mean, that's true, except I haven't been in a couple of years now because just, kids, it's like hard for me to get away. Do that. One day I'll get back out there. I keep saying, I bought like a brand new board right before Freddie was born. And I barely used it. Yeah, we will eventually. When he's maybe in like a year. I think this coming winter, maybe he might do it. He'll be 3. He could probably try it. I don't know if I have the patience. Might have to like send him off to ski school or something. But yeah, we would like to get him started early. I feel like anyone I've ever met that like started early, they're always like, when they're actually adults, they're just always amazing skiers or snowboarders. Do you snowboard? We've never been. I can't even remember if you do. Where did we go? Okay. I've never been to Loveland, so it must have been, I'm guessing it was Keystone. Sorry, that was probably I'm sure that was years ago. It was like black and green and red. Something like that. It was like mainly black. I had like green and red. Force. I mean, it had like a green like strip and like a red strip on the top. The bottom was like white. The new one's like it's like all black with like, it's like kind of like a iridescent greenish blue like writing. Like it's a Jones all mountain. Nice board, just no, I didn't have a dovetail. It was my old board, the board that you probably went with it was just what do you call it, like a rocker. No, I didn't have a dovetail. Yeah, maybe we didn't go. Cause I'm struggling to remember. I feel like like you saying your snowboard like rings a bell, but I don't recall. I'm having trouble recalling going with you. So maybe it wasn't me. I feel less bad now. This thing wants to go, man. Feels like it's really about to pop. Yeah, that makes you the asshole to think that we went together and we didn't. Yeah, so are you. We all probably look like those. I'm sure you. It's like there's some picture. It's like all these guys that pretending to be like, I don't know what they're at, like a rally or protest, and they were all like definitely feds. And the guy was like, look at the guy taking the video or whatever. Was like, look at these guys pretending to be, whatever. And they all look the same. They were like, reasonably in shape. Were wearing the same type of sunglasses, all had the same type of shirt and shorts on and same type of shoes, had like a watch on. Yeah, maybe some minor tattoos. But the guy was like, these dudes are definitely feds. They just look like regular white guys though, pretty much. Yeah, cops for sure. I feel like feds are less likely to have tats. Do you hunt or fish or anything like that? I feel like, yeah. I feel like rural Michigan. I think of like yeah, like a outdoorsman. A lot of fishing and hunting, I would imagine. Which is probably like that in rural Illinois too, right? A lot of hunting and fishing, I'd imagine as well. I met my friend Joe. Yeah, he was definitely a redneck, Southern Illinois. So is that house, or where that house is that a suburb of Ann Arbor? Like how far away is it from like the city center or like the university? Like how far would Sylvia's commute be? That's not too bad. I assume that's like on country roads and stuff though. Like, so it's like 50 mile an hour, 60 mile an hour, like highways. Are you thinking about trading at all or no? I mean, yeah, not full time. I know you mentioned just, or at least the idea got in your head when you realized you were gonna have to get a new job. If I can copy your answers, I'd do it. LOL. Yeah, I mean, they're hard to copy. I'm realizing, just streaming too. It's hard. Yeah. Okay. Jump headlines. Very confident on deal with EU. Trade deal. And we get the squeeze. Squeeze, please. We've tried that before, haven't we, Andrew? I mean, I can, yeah, if you want to learn, I'm happy to help. I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm happy to teach what I know. Yeah. I know. Yeah. Yeah, if you want to learn, I'm happy to teach you stuff, but I mean, you got to ask some questions. Well, I mean, nowadays you can trade with these prop firms. So there's like a low barrier of entry really to try to trade. I mean, like for example, the accounts that I have, the one, you would definitely, I would say you should start with one, and just try to do one. But like you have to pass an evaluation, and the evaluation, they always have discounts, but it's usually around like $35 to purchase an evaluation. You then have to like, well, depending on the size of the account, but you then have to hit a profit target on that evaluation. Once you do that, then they give you a funded account, which to activate that is costs, depending on how you do it, but around like between like around $100, $100 to $150, depending on where you get it from, whatever. So all in, once you've passed an account, if like depending on how many tries it takes you to pass an account, but if you were to pass it, one time, the minimum investment, I'd say it'd be like $150 for one prop account. Obviously it's going to be more than that if you're like learning and failing and all that. But the benefit of these prop firms is that there is such a low barrier for entry as far as like, capital invested. So yeah, that's what I would, nowadays, that's what I would say would be your best bet way to go. It's, they have rules. What about save money to trade with, or do they provide that? LOL. Yeah, you can do that. Oh, seed money to trade with. Yeah, that's what they do. Well, with these prop firms, expected drawdown is how much you spend on these accounts and whether or not you get paid. So that's what I was saying. You just could start with just one account, just buy an evaluation, try to pass that evaluation. So it's like not real money. It's all sim money. Try to pass that evaluation. If you fail it and you don't purchase anything else, then you lost like $35. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, so that's your downside. Your downside is the fees if you use these prop firms. So it just depends on how much you want to invest that way. I mean, a lot of these firms allow you to have like, multiple accounts, and there's different account sizes depending on how much drawdown you need, etc. So, and I gotta watch this here for a second. But yeah, like, so the Trump on Italy, we're going to make a trade deal. We're moving along on trade very well. Everybody's on my priority list is what Trump's saying. So this is why we're getting all this volatility right here. So yeah, like the cost to entry is pretty low nowadays. You don't have to really risk any of your own money besides what you're putting up for these prop firms. It's not easy though, that's for sure. You know how long I've been doing it, and it's still hard. So I don't know. I mean, it's up to you, I guess, if you want to go the route. It's also a good idea just to sit there and observe for a long time as well, and do nothing, just like take notes and all that. That's what I would suggest. It depends on how seriously you want to take it too. I mean, I think that the only way to really have success, particularly long-term success in trading, is if you like take it seriously to the max, like you can't really half-ass it. You can't be like a side hobby or a side gig, really. I mean, there's ways to do that, but like, I don't know. It's a tough way to make money. It's tough for me to answer this properly because there's so many different ways you can trade. I mean, you've seen what I used to do, right? Like the strategy, and just like where I just put in my orders and just leave them and literally like not do anything all day. And that So I quit doing that because I had a couple of reasons why I quit doing that, but it's for a while it's kind of stopped. I had like a period of like drawdown where it like quit working, that's what you're gonna see. If you have any sort of like systematic, automated, whatever strategy, anything that's like very mechanical, you're gonna have 100% periods of drawdown that, can be extended, and there's always the risk that it just like never really works again. Like you can have edge in the market for a particular period of time, and then that edge can, fade away. So I quit. It was like a period of like a few months that it was just kind of, I think I was like, I can't even remember if I was like down or what, but it just wasn't making money. So I just kind of abandoned it. Since then I've like kind of like observed it after abandoning it, and it definitely came back. It's definitely had like, that was definitely just like a drawdown, and it makes sense to me the way that strategy worked. Yeah, well, I'm trying to be realistic. I don't want to sell you a dream that's bullshit. Like it's just it is. It's a grind. I mean, it's definitely easier probably for some people than me, but I mean, yeah, it is a grind. I mean, and like I said, there's people that are better at it than I am, for sure. And there's people that like, maybe depending on their lifestyle, can leverage the stuff to a higher degree than I'm willing to be comfortable with, just being, having a family and stuff. I mean, which you're there too. But there's some of these guys, these young guys I see that like, they're not married, don't have kids. And I feel like that provides you a lot of like mental freedom to just like go balls to the wall with these accounts and, really just like go for it. And then if you kind of know what you're doing and or get lucky, you can definitely make some nuts money pretty quickly. But yeah, I mean, as much experience as I have, it's still, I still have periods where I just like suck, but that's also a factor of, like now I'm trading, everything's discretionary. I'm not doing anything really systematic, but so the systematic stuff, you're going to see drawdowns if you're just trading discretionary, you're going to see drawdowns too, just because as a factor of psychology, it's extremely hard to just be on all the time, and just be right all the time, because with trading with discretion too requires a lot of flexibility. You've got to be able to adapt. Okay, now we're popping. Let's see. All right, I got to watch here for a second. Keep saying that and then I keep talking. But at the same time, I'll say like, I make enough, I make enough with these prop firms, and it affords me a lifestyle that's pretty decent as far as like, like I don't have to listen to a boss. Nobody can tell me what to do. I don't have to listen to anybody's bullshit. You can really structure it where you only trade like a couple hours a day and be done. I'd say when you're starting out and really forever, you got to put in more hours than that to really be able to get good. And there's I still put in plenty of other hours where I'm not like actively trading, plenty of hours where I'm like, studying. But like for me, like that's huge. If you want, time is a big one. Big benefit. So I don't know. It's definitely not for everybody. And that's something that you have to figure out for yourself, whether it's for you or if it's something you want to do. I think there's plenty of people that I think you also really have to be interested in it too. You gotta catch that bug which I caught a long time ago and just like it held on. But there's definitely people that like try it out and like, you know, you just can't quite commit to it mentally. And I think the only real way to commit to it long term is if like you're just, you know, you get really interested in the game and understanding and learning and all that stuff. So if it's just completely like boring bullshit to you and it doesn't excite you, it's hard. I don't think people that see it that way are likely to have much success. So I know I rambled there a lot, but hopefully there's something in there that was worth hearing. As far as like demeanor goes, like from what I, you know, as much as I know you, I feel like you would have the personality to it's fitting for it. I feel like you're pretty chill and calm. I think you can see objectively. I mean, when real money comes into play, that changes everything for sure. So like that's what it comes down to is how you. I'd say the biggest personality factor is like how someone is around, you know, like how do you deal with pressure, you know, like if it's when the heat's on, that's really what determines whether or not someone's successful or not. But I'd say baseline, having a generally calm and rational personality is probably beneficial. I would say that I probably at base don't have the proper personality or like the natural personality to be a trader, which I think is why, you know, like I'm not like making millions of dollars a year at this point, given how long I've been trading. So that's been, yeah, it's a struggle. I think it definitely comes more naturally to some people than others, but I've got the passion for the game, and you know, that's something. That's probably what's my factor that's kept me in it for so long. I mean, I think also having somebody to guide you and, you know, having someone that's been there and has been trying to do it is massively beneficial too, and can definitely, you know, like make the learning curve less steep. Because I've had like, you know, people that I've followed from here and there, like through the years and stuff and things I've definitely picked up on. But I've never really had anybody like holding my hand or like telling me what to do, and it's been me figuring that out, you know, from the get-go, figuring out what works, what doesn't work, and I think that has definitely, it was, you know, it was a curse and a blessing. I mean, the curse part was that I feel like it takes way longer to learn, and you have to learn from your mistakes, and mistakes can be massively costly. And you know, like devastating as they have been plenty of times in my career. But on the flip side, when you know, it's definitely much more satisfying to figure it out, like, you know, really figure it out on your own. And also, you know, you have to get more in the weeds, I think, when you're, you know, it's just you. But in the end, even if you have, even if I'm showing you what I know, etc., or anybody that has like a mentor, I feel like the way that we all trade is massively personal, and you have to figure out, a right style for yourself. There's plenty of things to learn from people that have different styles. But there's, you got to figure out what your risk tolerance is, like how well you are like holding on to winners, like how well you are at like just taking losses. You have to be good at taking losses either way, but there's varying degrees of that. There's plenty of people that can, just take no trades for an entire day. And I have periods of my trading where I did that, where I'd like take like one trade the entire week. That's brutal for me though, but I've done it. It's a very personal endeavor in the end. And if this market, I want to see it. I want to see the big, massive squeeze before the holiday weekend. We're definitely, it's looking good. It wants it. I mean, we've broken the downtrend. The pace has definitely picked up. I can feel it. I can hear it in my PC, the fan blowing. But I don't know if it can really. I guess we're at session highs here for ES. It's pretty good. But see if it can get going. Maybe it can. It looks like it wants to. It might be a real grind. I wouldn't mind you being in my live stream every day too. I mean, it's been like I guess the past 2 weeks when you haven't been in here. It's been, I mean, I'm literally have like 1 or 2 views every now and then, and it's like boring as shit. And when you were in there, definitely in the beginning, it was certainly beneficial to me. I feel like I've definitely been struggling this week, and I was definitely feeling the heat and the pressure last week towards the end of the week with the live stream. It just felt like it was adding to the pressure to trade well, and it was not like beneficial. So I've been like today, like I was experimenting with that thought. Like I traded before the stream, and I traded well, and it did definitely felt like easier, like there was less pressure. So I'm trying to figure out like the balance of that, like how to keep the accountability that I was definitely benefiting from when I first started the stream, but minimize the added pressure that I felt to perform well, that's like been kind of building. Trying to figure that out. I was thinking maybe it almost feels like sometimes like just changing things up on a regular basis has been beneficial to me when I've just like changed stuff up. Something's not, like I'm doing one thing and then, it starts to just like, it's not seeming to work. And then I just do something different. It feels like that. Just changing something seems to get me out of a rut often enough that it makes me wonder if I should do figure out how I can like maybe like live stream some days and not the other days or something like that. Something to switch it up, keep things changing. Are you talking about the one strategy that you used to watch me do? The kind of mechanical one? Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have, there's always going to be if you're mechanical, you're 100% always going to have periods of drawdown where you're just like, it can't make money, or it's not making money. And like, it's a matter of whether or not you can like handle that psychologically, if you can handle not getting paid for a few months, because that's if you're going to be mechanical like the way that I was with that, like you got to be able to handle like, not making money for like 3 months. And it got to the point where I was like, I didn't want to mess with that anymore. Like it was, so on the flip side, like discretionary, like kind of what I'm doing now, I'm still using those same concepts. I still use that. I'm just like combining it with like making decisions on the fly, because the way that was, I couldn't use any context for the current day, like what was happening. It was all based on the previous day's action, which is, there's two sides of that coin. One, you then eliminate all the psychological errors that you're liable to make by having to make decisions in real time, which that's 100% a benefit to not have that. So I was more mechanical in my execution, but you're limited to less. You have less information. It's old information is what I was trading off of, which there's benefits and drawbacks to both of those. I think like what it came down to is that the whole reason why I was doing that was because I knew and I realized that all of my issues with trading were all psychological. I never had nothing to do with me whether or not I could read the market. I mean, I've said it a bunch. Like that's the easiest part of trading is analysis. Anybody can figure out where a trade is going or figure out a good trade with just a little bit of studying. The hard part is the psychological part. Can you hold a trade that's working? Can you hold one that's not? If it still fits in your plan, all that. It's like, it's a mind fuck. But So that was the whole impetus for me doing the mechanical strategy, and that worked for quite a while. But like I said, the drawdowns after a while, like I was just like, I don't, let's go back to discretionary. And, you know, talking about change again like that, and as soon as I went back to discretionary after having not done it for a while, that was a nice change, because all of a sudden I could execute well, and, you know, I could, the time away from like making all those decisions all the time away from doing that was definitely beneficial. And I then, you know, and then I learned stuff also from just being mechanical, and it was just another part of the evolution of my trading. And so that stuff is definitely incorporated into what I trade now. Like that's what these zones are, you know, still trading off of these zones. Just now I'm like taking the zones into context. You know, what has the market been doing as we go into these zones? What, you know, like what is it looking like during the day when we get to these areas? Is it, you know, if like momentum is like waning into an area, you know, you can use that area as like somewhere to buy, as opposed to it's just like flushing through. Which if it was flushing through in like my old strategy, I'd still be buying it, and that would work plenty of times. And that was one of those psychological things too, where it's like it's hard to buy like a market that's just sitting there flushing, but if you've already got a strategy ready and it's sitting there waiting, oftentimes that ends up being a nice buying spot. But anyway, if you can keep your psychological issues at bay, it's easier to make consistent money and have less drawdowns. You can definitely, if you can master the psychology, you can make way more money and risk way less than any mechanical system. 100%. Well, if you don't know, trade real money and you'll find out. That's the thing about trading. It exposes all your flaws. Probably okay, but I get mad and frustrated. Yeah, everybody gets mad and frustrated, but it's like what you do when you're mad and frustrated. You know, like, do you still keep it together, or do you start fucking shit up and like throwing a tantrum, or, you know, like doubling down? Which is all that's natural for anybody. That's what makes the game so hard. But it's like, yeah, but trading just highlights all your personality flaws and all of that, and it makes you. It really is just an analogy for life, and just like everything in life. You're gonna experience it in trading, and it's just as intense, if not more, when you have real money on the line. All those emotions, feel them. But all that stuff can be worked on too. But it does. That's the hard part. That's the part that requires the most work in this game, is like really figuring out how to manage yourself. That's it. Managing yourself is the whole game. There's a book I read, I think this summer, trading book called Best Loser Wins. And that title, it sums it all up. All right, dude. All right. I'll see you later. I'll see you Saturday. Looking forward to it. Hopefully the weather's not too bad. probably gonna bounce out of here too. I'm just kind of dicking around at this point. All right, see you later. All right, so I'm gonna call it for the live stream too. I'm up about 490, 496, something like that on 6 accounts, and then about 280 on the other 6 that I'm trading today. So good day so far. I gotta admit that I want to see the massive squeeze, the rally. I want to see that because I just trade a bullish market so much better, and I want to see. Yeah, that's what I want to see. So it's definitely a bias that it's like a bias can also be a blind spot. When you have a bias to the upside, you can definitely ignore any information that goes against that. We've had a nice rally from the bottom at this point. Look at that. Here's a zone that was resistance. This zone was resistance as well. And yeah, it's a lot of chop. I don't really know what we do from here. I have to admit that. As much as I want to see it go up, as much as I believe it can go up, I gotta admit that I could see it going down as well. So I'm gonna call the live stream. Good day. Happy to leave it and go into the long weekend. Yeah, so look at that. Yeah, that was like a 15 point just drop right there in ES. What was that? And like 30, 40 points in NQ. I think that's probably my sign. I should call it. All right, so I'm gonna do that. See ya Monday.